Coaches, late in our season, we're always obsessing over schemes, scouting, and plays, but why do we constantly overlook these other areas? During our coaching cohort last night, our community identified the three most underrated things that coaches don't emphasize enough late in the season. The first opportunity that can be a huge difference maker in your late season games and the outcome of those big games are your assistant coaches. So many teams now have multiple assistant coaches, but when we watch games, everybody is focused on the game. What we don't see all those assistant coaches doing are managing or helping or teaching or reminding any of the players on the bench. The bench minutes and contribution from bench players late in the season are so important because the opposing team is always going to key on your top players and your starting players. So the value that your bench players can add can be the difference in these late season games. But it won't happen if we're not coaching and teaching and drawing our bench players' eye to certain things to continue or to avoid doing when they check into the game. Another role your assistant coaches can have is just an energy enforcer. Don't leave it up to your players and don't assume that your players can recognize when they need to give more energy. Have a coach dedicated to maintaining the bench energy, to reminding those players on the floor to pick up their energy. Energy is a huge momentum creator or a momentum swinger. The second opportunity to separate that people don't take advantage of enough is how you scout and identify your opponent. Typically, scouting is just memorizing and recognizing the other team's plays and taking away those. But if you are able to do that, then it just comes down to players being able to make plays. So the opportunity that we want to emphasize is to player identify what tendencies and habits a player or multiple players have and force them out of those things. Because once you take away a team's offense and their plays, then it comes down to regular old basketball where individuals have to make plays. And if your team and your players don't understand, if somebody hesitates left, they're always coming back to their strong right hand, then you're going to constantly get beat to your opponent's best right hand. Focus on teaching your players how to identify opponents' best skills and habits and force them into their weaknesses and uncomfortability more so than systems in place. If we can give our players these tools and skills of mental performance and confidence, it will just take a weight off of their shoulders. Late in the season, we overload our players with plays, with new adjustments, with scouting, with all of these basketball systematic things that take up their mind. But oftentimes it just puts more stress on them to perform and remember and execute all of these things. There needs to be a separate time that we give our players the tools and the skills to be able to visualize, to be able to focus and calm down, to be able to have better mistake response, remove stress from their performance. That'll actually help them perform better and actually help them execute. Coaches, we are always available and want to help support you and your team however often and whatever that looks like. Hit the link in our bio to join our school where we can help you find your coaching and your program's potential.